Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Plows will be hitting residential streets earlier than normal this winter, with the city announcing its full-scale snow removal will begin Monday. Eric Bay has more on the decision.
Usually occurring in February, the city decided residential snow removal was necessary, with Lloydminster seeing roughly 1 foot of snow already this winter. The warmer temperatures kept the snow from packing, leaving streets rutted.
Temperatures, as we can enjoy outside, don't always make it conducive to the snow that happened. Traditionally, we see a colder snow or colder weather. The snow packs well in the street. We've received some warmer weather, which is nice to enjoy to be outside, but at the same time, it's resulted in that snow literally not packing.
Work will begin on city streets north of Highway 16 before moving to other areas by Wednesday. Signage will be posted in areas 48 hours before clearing, and the mayor is asking residents to move their vehicles off the streets.
If the vehicles are removed, the grader can come along the sidewalk, do his job, and then the snow removal crew will do their job of getting the snow pile away. If they have to go around vehicles, you will see ridges, and that just adds to it. They try to maintain some distance because we don't want to be damaging vehicles, nor do people want their vehicles damaged. So you're going to be left with at least a foot ring around your vehicle.
The city has budgeted for 1 snow removal a season, but they will pull out the plows again this winter if needed.
It will be driven by Mother Nature. That's really what we can say. We don't. If this is the snow for the winter, I would. In some ways, I'd be happy. I know the skidoers would like to see more snow, and I understand the cross-country skiers. But in the same token, we will deal with it accordingly as Mother Nature delivers it.
The snow removal is expected to take 4 weeks, depending on the weather. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
Earlier today at Silverwood Toyota, they presented a check to the Lloydminster Public School Division towards their breakfast program. The check worth $2,600 will be helping the nutrition program in a year where they've seen more students accessing the program.
With this money, we'll be able to purchase over 1,500 meals for our students across the division in the next little bit. So it couldn't come at a better time. And again, we're so grateful to be able to partner with Silverwood Toyota. They've been so helpful to our students and the families this school year.
With the COVID-19 pandemic, Silverwood Toyota wanted to help out local organizations who may be struggling. And for each car sold in October, a small amount of the money went towards the donation.
To have the opportunity, the ability to give back a little bit where we feel it's really necessary, and making sure these kids are going to school with full bellies and you know, making sure that it's a little less strain on them at a time when they're vulnerable is we're really proud to be able to do that, and I think it's a big deal.
Students who are learning at home this year can also access the nutrition program. The 32nd annual Lloydminster Christmas Craft Fair was forced to cancel their in-person event at the Lloyd X, but are still holding an online event until the 27th. Jace Mackey has more.
I'm joined today with Alice Pattison. She's going to be talking a little bit about the 32nd annual Lloyd Christmas Craft Fair that's taking place online. Thanks for taking some time to talk with me today.
Oh, you're welcome.
So just starting off, can you just tell me a little bit about this year's event?
Well, this year we had planned on doing the show again at the exhibition grounds, but because of COVID, it got canceled out there. So we decided that we needed to do something for our vendors. So we decided to start an online event where people can still shop and find those unique parcels or presents for those ones they're trying to buy for Christmas.
Well, for people who are looking to browse the vendors and see different products and possibly buy something, how would they go about doing that?
They would have to go to our event page, online 32nd annual Lloydminster Christmas Craft Fair, and then they would just have to ask to join, and then they could browse through everybody that's there.
And how long is it going to be taking place for?
It goes till November 27th.
And how many vendors are taking part this year?
We have over 60 vendors, and every day it seems like we're getting another vendor that wants to join. So it seems like it'll be different every day almost.
And obviously, when you guys were planning it and hoping to have it at the Lloyd X and things changed, how hard was it to be able to then transfer everything and decide we're going to go online this year and still put an event on?
We had a lot of vendors asking about it, so it didn't take long, and we decided, yeah, we needed to do that. Then we just had to figure out how to do that because it's something new that we have never done before. And so, yeah, it wasn't very long that we did, and before we decided that, yes, that's something we needed to do.
And how important do you think it is to be able to still have, events like this for the community and also to support, local people looking to sell some products?
I think it's very important. The craft fair is something that people look forward to every year. And we need a little bit of normalcy in our lives right now. And doing it online is just a new way of doing it. And people can still find those really unique parcels or gifts, like I said before, for that hard to buy for. And something maybe for yourself too as well. It's got lots and lots of different things out there.
What are some examples of some of the products that are showcased?
We have Norwex and that Young Living. We have we have wood products and signs and a lot of the same stuff that you would find at the craft fair that's normally every year.
And is there anything else you want to add for people to know?
Well, besides the Lloydminster Christmas Craft Fair online right now, we also have coming up our Border City Farmers Market has their big Christmas shows on the on the 12th and 19th of December. So that's another place where the locals can find local products to buy for that unique person.
And is there, for people who are interested in possibly being vendors for the Border City Christmas showcase, is there still a chance for them to kind of sign up to be a vendor?
Oh yes, for sure there is. All you'd have to do is get a hold of Larissa Upham at the Border City Farmers Market, or even on our website, and just get a hold of her. And there's still room for people to sign up to be a vendor.
All right, Alice, thanks for taking some time to talk with me today about the Lloyd Christmas Craft Fair that's going to be taking place.
Okay, thank you very much for letting me talk about it.
A new initiative by the Lloydminster Chamber is trying to support local businesses in the community this holiday season. In partnership with Startup Lloydminster and Think Lloyd First, the TLF Win Your Wish online campaign is giving residents a chance to win prizes in a weekly draw. Our Shelby Clark spoke with Startup Lloydminster to learn more.
I'm speaking with Tess Wack with Startup Lloydminster. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having us.
Of course, no problem. Can you tell me a bit more about this new Christmas campaign that Startup Lloydminster is in partnership with the Lloydminster Chamber and Think Lloyd First?
Yeah, so it's actually an initiative of the Lloydminster Chamber of Commerce. Serena came up with the idea, and so we were very excited about it and wanted to be a partner.
And has this been an annual online campaign, or is it the first ever one?
So it's something that has been done in the past through downtown Lloydminster and Streetscape. So the chamber used to hold the contract or execute streetscapes. So they used to do it as a downtown Win Your Wish. And so this year they thought, and we all thought, that it would be good to do a Lloydminster wide and incorporate the Think Lloyd First campaign and movement that's going on through our community.
And how can residents enter for this campaign?
So it's really easy to enter this. All you have to do, if there's something at a local store that you're eyeing up, you can either go into the store and take a picture of it, or if they have it listed on their online websites, you can screenshot it and share it that way as well. So you just need to share that picture, use the hashtag TLF Win Your Wish and tag the business, and then share it on your social media platforms, and then we'll see it and you'll be entered into the draws.
And why do you believe this campaign is so important for the Lloydminster community, especially during the holidays?
Especially during the holidays, it's important to think local, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. It's so easy to shop on Amazon. It's so easy to hit add to cart, Amazon Prime, get to your door, but it's so much more important to support our local businesses. They're the ones who are here building our community, helping our community grow. They're sponsoring your kids' hockey team. They're sponsoring your kids' dance competition. They're the ones here, and they're the heartbeat of our community. And so now more than ever, we need to support them. And so that's why we thought that this was a great time to really kick this off.
And how long will this run until?
So it started now, and then the last draw, I believe, is December 21st. So you're able to get your gift card in before Christmas and finish up that last minute Christmas shopping.
And do you believe with COVID-19, there'll still be lots of support for this?
I hope so. I hope it actually encourages people to think local a little bit more than they could. Our shops, they're also wonderful. They're doing their best to make sure that you can still shop online, do curbside pickup, make things feel as safe as they can, or be as safe as they can, and for the shoppers to feel as safe as possible. So they're really working hard to meet all the needs of our community. So I think that we need to not forget that when we are out doing our Christmas shopping.
So does Startup Lloydminster and Lloydminster Chamber hope to make this an annual campaign?
You know, we'd have to see how it goes, and I'll have to talk to Serena at the chamber after. As I said, like, this was their kind of brainchild, and we were just so excited and happy to support. So if they're game, we're game.
Is there anything else you want to add for residents to know about for this?
If they have any questions, they can reach out to the chamber, I'm sure, or they can reach out to us and we can help them out. But just really remember to think Lloyd first. Like I said, those businesses, they're here. We want them to stay here. And so every little bit helps. So we can all do our part and think local and shop local.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Tess.
Thank you.
This weekend will be the first regular season action the Lloydminster Bobcats have seen since last February. Ahead of the weekend series against the Fort McMurray Oil Barons, Evan Kenny sat down with Bobcats head coach.
Well, the day is finally here. The Lloydminster Bobcats will kick off their season this weekend. Joining me today to break it down is Bobcats head coach and general manager Nigel Dubé. Nigel, thank you very much for joining me. I guess first things first, Nigel, what were your initial thoughts on how the exhibition season went for your team?
Well, I thought it went, really well. I think that it was one of those that it seems like we've been at it forever. So to put a development stamp on it, or what kind, the season's been seemingly going for a long time. So I thought overall, coming back, we talked about the culture that was established last year by our group, and to see that come, from day one here this year, and the leadership group and stuff take over that way. I like where we've come as a team off the ice and as well on the ice. I think you go back to those 7 or 8 games that we played, and through those, and we built every game. And I think we're at a point now that I said to the guys yesterday, it's just a matter of going out and playing now.
And now, Nigel, your guys' first games of the season will be this weekend, but that isn't the case for every team, as you guys will be playing the Fort McMurray Oil Barons, who have already played 2 games. Now, do you think this helps you guys, or does this hurt you guys?
It's one of those this year we've kind of been used to it all. We've a lot of practice to start, get into some games, get into a rhythm, take a week off and then back to it for a single. And then, we've played 1 game in the last 3.5 weeks, I think, by the time it's done. So, for our guys, it's a matter of just going out and doing the thing. I think Brady and myself throughout the week, as far as practicing goes, we tried to chip that rust off, and then a little bit now they'll be able to take it out on another team. But, it's just a matter of keeping it simple and getting back into the groove here as soon as we can.
In those 2 games for Fort McMurray, they played the Drayton Valley Thunder, where they shut them out in both games, winning each of them 3-0. So for you guys, Nigel, what are a couple keys on offense trying to score some goals against this tough team?
Well, I think it's going to have to be going to the hard areas. Obviously, we were able to watch those games last weekend, and we watched them again through the week here. It's just a matter of you're going to have to go to the hard areas, and it's going to be tough. Gord Thibodeau is always has a tough team to play against, and I think it's a matter, of using our speed, adjusting to what we need to when we do on the fly, and then getting around that net. You can't score if you're not around the blue paint, and I think you're going to have to they get some big D-men back there, and they're going to have to wear some sticks and take the body and stuff like that. But I think our guys are more capable.
And in that exhibition season, scoring was done by committee. It was spread out along your entire lineup there, but it was led by 2 rookies in Ethan Acoyne as well as Dalton Irvine. Just what are your thoughts on 2 rookies leading your team in scoring, but as well the scoring by community?
It's going to have to be by community. We've talked, I think you and I have talked more about it on our offense and what we need from it. But, you look at Ethan comes in and puts up early numbers, and Dalton on the back end contributes that way. And then just a nice spread throughout too as well with guys getting those guys the pucks, and whether it be on the power play or 5-on-5. we took the last probably about 10 days here to let some chemistry grow in between lines. You look at the development season, we were rotating bodies in and out every night of those games, making sure we're getting reps. And, ever since the Bonnyville game, we felt that it was probably appropriate to leave some lines and let them grow some chemistry here throughout the last 10 days and move that into the weekend. So it'll be good to do.
Nigel, it's always a pleasure getting to chat with you. Best of luck this weekend.
Now we're Connor Chan. We'll take a look at your weather forecast.
Thanks a lot, Jasmine. Looking at temperatures right now, still sitting around that -13. We could get a little bit colder as we get into the evening, around that -15 range there. But right now, as we look out west, a little bit warmer in some areas like Jasper at 1 degree right now, Edson at -3, Rocky Mountain House at -5, with Edmonton at -6, and then Athabasca at -11 with Whitecourt at -9. Take a look in Saskatchewan, a little bit cooler in North Battleford, as sitting at -13 as well. -16 in Saskatoon, -12 in Melfort, and then -11 in Prince Albert, and then -9 up in Cold Lake, and then -10 in Meadow Lake. As we look up in further northern Saskatchewan and Alberta, a little bit warmer, but not too much compared to what we saw yesterday. -9 in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, -12 in South End and in Flin Flon, -11 in L'Orange, and then -15 up at Stony Rapids with -12 in Uranium City. We look at northern Alberta, a little bit colder in some areas like High Level and Peace River. High Level at -17 right now, and then -16 in Peace River with -11 in Grand Prairie. Fort McMurray, one of the warmer spots in this area at -6 right now. Now, taking a look at southern Alberta and Saskatchewan, we see 3 degrees out in Lethbridge right now, 1 degree in Medicine Hat, 0 for Calgary, and then -1 in Banff with -12 in Coronation right now, -14 in Kindersley with -10 in Moose Jaw, then -12 we see in both Regina and in Yorkton, and then -7 currently right now in Estevan. Now, as we look across the country, we still see warm temperatures in Toronto at 14 degrees with some cloud coverage, also 6 degrees in St. John's with 10 in Halifax, 2 in Quebec City, and then -9 right now we see there in Winnipeg. A lot more sun in Regina at that -12 mark. 9 degrees in Vancouver right now, -16 in Yellowknife with snow continuing there, and -20 right now up in Whitehorse. Now, as we take a look at what we could see for tomorrow, we are going to warm up a little bit, but nothing too crazy, because with the wind chill, it could feel more so like -14 for tomorrow. But -7 nonetheless is our expected daytime high throughout the day. -5 in Vermilion, -3 in Vegreville, and then -2 tomorrow in Edmonton. And we see -5s up in the northern areas of St. Paul, Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and -3 up in Lac La Biche, as well as we'll see that in Provost and Macklin for tomorrow. -8 in North Battleford, and then -7 in St. Walburg as well, with -6 in Green Lake and in Meadow Lake as well. Now, as we take a look at the next 7 days here, we are going to get a little bit more cloud coverage on Sunday, Monday there. So Saturday will be the last day that we see some sun for a little bit here, as we get to -9 on Sunday there, -8 on Monday. A little bit of sun expected back on Tuesday at -7, and then -6 with some snow expected there at 80% chance. Kind of it could be similar to what we saw earlier this week in terms of snow precipitation coming down there. The colder temperatures expected there on Thursday, and then -4 on Friday. A little bit warmer, where we should see kind of similar results of sun and cloud mix there. But that's a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
I'm joined today on Primetime Local News by an author who is currently living in the Moose Lake area and grew up right around that spot. We are so happy to welcome Carmen Kissel-Verrier to our show today. Thank you so much for joining us, Carmen.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, Carmen, I'm really excited to talk to you today about your book, The Butcher Shop Girl. This looks just like it's an incredible story. I mean, it basically is your life story, and just looking at the information that was sent to me, it looks like such an incredible tale. Can you tell me why you decided to write this book?
Yes, thank you. That's a question I get asked often. I would say the number one reason I decided to write this book, The Butcher Shop Girl, is because I've had just a really interesting coming of age period. in my life, and a lot of pressure from a lot of good friends and family to write that story. And I just felt like I didn't have enough courage to do that for the last 20 years. I wanted to keep those parts of my life kind of hidden away forever. And I learned that if I could overcome that and share, that it would probably be a really great read for other people to read. And so far, it's been a pretty wild ride, and the response has been really great.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about the story? First of all, how the title relates to your life, and then a little bit about the story, as much as you can kind of give away?
Yes, so there's a lot of major themes in this story, largely persistence and resilience in a coming-of-age journey for a young person. So I would say, to not give too much away, I take readers on a journey from what it's like to grow up in rural prairie Alberta, the gloriousness that comes from the prairies. It's my home, and agriculture is such a big part of my family, as well as I introduce to them what it's like to be a butcher shop kid growing up in that environment. And then I take them into just a regular girl's life of dealing with a family that's divorced and struggling to get along with her mother, who's her primary caregiver, and all of the challenges that that leads me to going forward. So I make a lot of interesting life decisions that prove to be very lucrative and adventurous and dangerous even. And I take people on a journey from the prairies to Miami Beach to South America to living in Houston, Texas, and everything in between.
Well, Carmen, how long was the process to actually get the book together? I know that you said you based this on an earlier life, obviously, so you did allude to the fact it took some time for you to actually even be able to put the words to paper. But once you were at that point, what was the process like, and how long did that take?
Yes, I would say it was a good 3 years by the time I had enough of a working manuscript composed and ready to start the developmental edit processing, copy editing, and then finding that perfect publishing house to take it live. So I'd say 3 years from start to finish, from deciding to have enough gumption to do it, then sitting down to do it, then finding that right publishing house, which I found in Friesen Press, Canada. So it was very important for me to find a Canadian publisher if I could, and I'm just so thrilled with how it's worked out. We've been live and online on all the major sale platforms for about 2 weeks now, and I've copyrighted 2020. So I just feel like 2020 was a tough year for everyone, but this is a real bright spot in my life.
How has the reaction and the reception been to your book? And is that something that is a little bit scary when you release something that, you're basically opening your whole life up for people to read? How has the reaction been, Carmen, and have you been surprised?
Yes, it's shocking, actually. When you share vulnerable parts of your own story and your own life, you'd be surprised who shares back. And all of the positive praise that we've received is just so shocking, I guess, to me. It's very humbling. It makes me very happy. The initial reviews are just super sensational. I'm so impressed with the formal professional reviews that are coming in. I even had some pre-praise shared with me from some celebrities like Brett Kissel. So I just have to tell everybody that I've got these 500 copies in finally that everybody's been waiting for. They're pre-sold and out the door very, very soon. I just got them this morning. But on it, we have a Brett Kissel review right at the top. So we're really proud to share that with everyone, and just so thankful that everybody's been so supportive so far of The Butcher Shop Girl. Thank you. It means so much to me.
Well, now, Carmen, before we let you go here, if people are wanting to get the book, now's a good time for a Christmas gift, or people are stuck inside because of the pandemic and looking for new things to read, what is the best way for people to get a copy of your book?
Well, unfortunately, I find due to COVID, shipping times are really unpredictable and hard to navigate. This book order that I had that's pre-sold took so long to get here. So I recommend that everybody, if they're looking for a gift for Christmas or just to get it in time for themselves, to please order from the official website, which is thebutchershopgirl.com. I find iBooks is really quick. I mean, you can get a digital e-reader version right on your phone, ready to go in seconds for under $8. So that's a really nice option too for e-readers or anybody who's a minimalist and they don't typically maybe want to own an actual physical copy of a book. So you can head to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Indigo Chapters, any retailer you can think of has it right now. iBooks is my favorite display, and if you want it real speedy and before Christmas, you'll want to get it from the website, thebutchershopgirl.com.
Well, Carmen, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate this. We wish you continued success with your book, and who knows, maybe there'll be even a movie option in the future. So we hope that you keep in touch with us and let us know how things are going.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support.
Thank you, Carmen.
There's plenty of ways to get into the Christmas spirit here in downtown Lloydminster, and coming up tomorrow, you can check out the Downtown Farmers Market as they host Holiday Wonder. It's an opportunity to pick up some really unique gifts from local makers, bakers, artisans, and more. And just a few of the people that are going to be there: Soup du Jour, Bread Alone, 6 Acre Homestead, Fenwick Crafts, and so much more. You can head to the Downtown Farmers Market for Holiday Wonder tomorrow from 10 until 4. Coming up tomorrow in Vermilion, Upper Level Pottery and Art Gallery is hosting something really cool. It's Demo Day. It's an opportunity for you to see 4 artists demonstrating their talents, and they're going to be there starting at 11 o'clock. It's an opportunity to see a painter. There's also going to be Chelsea there showing you how to weave with a loom. There's going to be mixed media. There's also going to be drop-in ornament painting as well. So great opportunity to see some very talented folks in Vermilion coming up tomorrow. And coming up tomorrow night, the Legion here in Lloydminster is hosting a ham and scallop potato supper. Doesn't that sound good? Just $15 a plate, with seniors priority starting at 4:30, then the general public at 5:30. There will be curbside pickup and takeout available. And if you want to pre-book your plate, you can call the Legion at 306-825-2521. Well, whatever you do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Well, joining us once again for the Friday Entertainment Panel is Abby St. John. Abby, last week, we talked about the fact that Johnny Depp's not going to be in the third Fantastic Beasts movie and how rumors of Mads Mikkelsen possibly replacing him. But this week, Mads Mikkelsen himself addressed those rumors. What did he exactly have to say about those rumors of him potentially replacing Depp?
Yeah, basically, the rumors came from multiple sources apparently close to Warner Brothers saying that he is the front runner. But when he was asked about that rumor, he said that is on the rumor basis as we speak. So I know as much as you do from the newspapers. I'm waiting for that phone call. So he knows just as much of information as we do. So he doesn't even know, he hasn't received a phone call just yet asking him to take over that character. But it is nice to note that Colin Farrell was the immediate front runner. However, for technical reasons, he can't be in it due to the fact that in the first film, he was in it and Grindelwald was playing him in disguise. So that wasn't going to work out. But as Mads Mikkelsen is still waiting for that phone call from Warner Bros. And if those multiple sources are correct, he is the front runner to take over as Grindelwald, the character that Johnny Depp had to step down from.
It'll be interesting to see if they end up picking Mikkelsen for this long term. Also, another entertainment news, Taryn Edgerton, of course, we all know, who played Elton John very well as playing Eggsy in the Kingsman series. He's now tapped to play in a biopic about the creator of Tetris and how it got Tetris big into the console world. It's going to be from Matthew Vaughn, who he's very familiar with. So what can we expect from this collaboration here?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of details circulating what this movie is going to portray. However, it is going to focus on the legal battles that ensued over the rights of the game Tetris and the company. Taryn Edgerton, like you said, he played Elton John in the biopic called Rocket Man. So he's very familiar with playing real people and playing in biopics. He will be portraying Hank Rogers, who is one of the founders and one of the creators of Tetris and the Tetris company. And it will be following, like I said, those legal battles that ensued during the late 80s over the very popular game. And the movie will be directed by John S. Baird, who recently directed the biopic Stan and Ollie. So he also has no issue recreating real life events. And so it's going to be interesting to see, as Tetris has been such a popular game for so many decades. It will be fun and interesting to see what they do with this film and how they kind of spin it into make it Hollywood.
Exactly. Yeah, of course, we haven't seen many video game adaptation type movies. But speaking of video game adaptation type movies, the director of the Sonic reboot is now being penciled in to helm a reboot of Pink Panther. Of course, we know how well he did when it came to the Sonic movie. Now, of course, there have been live action reboots of Pink Panther. So obviously, there's not a whole lot to talk about in that regard. But what could we expect from him in this reboot?
Yes, the last time that the Pink Panther was rebooted was in 2006 and 2009, respectively, where Steve Martin took on the role of the Inspector. And so this one is going to take a CGI/live action hybrid twist in it, which is why they got Jeff Fowler to direct this, because he has that experience with Sonic, which is the first and only movie that he has directed so far. Julie Andrews is on board as one of the producers. Now, there's not a lot of details circulating the plot. They have not been revealed by MGM Productions yet, but they do want, they are really excited to bring the two concepts together by bringing the animated Panther into the real world. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with this film and how they make it different from all the other reboots that have been made, just to make it its own. So I'm very excited to see what they do with that.
And it's anxious to see how, of course, we saw the Tom and Jerry trailer with how they combine the CGI. I'm anxious to see if it'll be someone like that. But of course, Sonic was one of the highest grossing video game movies of all time. Abby St. John, thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right, taking one last look here at your weather forecast. We could see some more sun heading into tomorrow and even a little bit on Sunday before it gets to that cloud coverage there, as we look at -7 as our daytime high for tomorrow, -9 on Sunday there. Could feel more so like -16 with that wind chill, -8 with some cloud coverage there on Monday, -7. We could see a little bit more sun come on Tuesday there, and then Wednesday some snow expected there. Could see kind of similar to what we saw earlier in the week in terms of the way it'll come into the city here. -6 though, as I said, the daytime high there could feel more like -13 there. A little bit colder on Thursday, as it could feel closer to -20 with that added wind chill there, and low of -14 to start the day off there. And then Friday, we'll see a high there of -4, so we could see that being fairly warm, one of the warmer days that we'll see this week. Could be even warm as -2 for Friday, with kind of similar to what we saw today.
Thank you for joining us on Primetime Local News. Have a great night.